We are directly continuing onward. What is that? Some sort of outcropping. Or, I don't know. I don't know anymore. The inn. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Oh boy, what's this? Oh. Now we're a wizard. Wolves. What's this? This is a... What in the world? Well, that's a mod conflict if I've ever seen one. Huh. Well, I don't think this is supposed to be like this, but I'm gonna go see what's going on over there. Oh, I'm sorry, dog. Oh. What? Oh. Let's do that later, I guess. Okay, hold on a minute. We're back. Yeah, so... Yeah. Ooh, lots of stuff on you. Where's your dog? Over there.
I love a good fight.
Oh, that's more wolves.
Another textbook example of skill and grace.
That was the dog? Maybe? I don't know where the dog went. Okay, whatever. Okay. Yeah, hold on. We're back. I switched the order of some mods around. Nothing crazy, just seeing if putting a couple of mods in a different place helps with the whole dragons aren't dropping modded items that they should. Saving again. And also quick saving. And that's a wolf.
Mr. Dragonfly is having a good time at the moment. He enjoys travel.
Sorry to interrupt you, Inigo, but now isn't really the time.
With us very much.
Okay. First things first. I don't need to do that right now. We figured out what this is, so we're going here. Because might as well get something done. Now, I can still go a bit further in the Dark Brotherhood before I have to do the whole pickpocketing thing, but my time for that is running shorter, so I'm just gonna, like, get my pickpocketing up
Giants
first.
love this kind of area for making their camps.
God damn it,
Easy
what
to
now?
spot trespassers, I suppose.
Whatever. What is that? Flowers, I
Wait,
guess.
So, a costume? You're not serious.
Sure I am.
Oh,
We got some furs
that's
and
what happened.
tree Just paint them white and then tie them to stump. Instant frostbite spider.
Frodnar, nobody's gonna believe that your dog is a frostbite spider. And if they do, they'll kill him. That's not much of a prank.
Oh yeah? And what would you rather do?
Do you need
Oh
something?
no, we play tag. You're it.
Hey, no fair! Get her stumped!
Yeah? We'll talk
Whatever.
later.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat.
I
and
don't
get the
think you were
cold out.
followed. Come on, I have a plan.
Fuck off.
What can I do for you, friend?
What is it? All right.
Interesting.
What do you need?
I don't really have anything. Give me a minute. I want to train this up too. Ooh,
Greetings.
Sorry, but I'm terribly
give
busy.
me a minute. Okay. Save. Because you know I'm always paranoid. I have good reason to be. Look how many crashes we've gotten.
Greetings.
Okay, let's see what we can do here.
What do you need? Greetings. What do you need?
Shut up.
This is some kind of stress relief thing for you, isn't it?
Sure.
What do you need?
Fuck off.
Greetings. Yeah. Greetings. Greetings.
Let's ignore him. I'm not doing this very optimally, but who cares? Who cares if I'm doing this correctly or not? It still works. Oh, there we go. Big amount of stuff. Hmm. Aha. I just guessed on that one. Okay. Let's see. Ha! The only reason I knew about that is because ESO also has an earn route assigned to invisibility. Oh, that's great. Now I'm doing things somewhat optimally. I say somewhat for a reason.
What is it, Argonian?
Fuck off.
What do you want, lizard?
I want you to leave me alone.
Yes?
Yes.
You lost? Need something?
I need you to go away.
Not sure you belong here, Argonian.
Ah.
Think you might be in the wrong place, friend. Think you might be in the wrong place, Argonian. I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Good for you.
It's not like my poaching is hurting anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he? There's enough for all of us if you aren't greedy.
I'm sorry for this.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years. It's not like my poaching
Right,
is
I'm doing
hurting
this.
anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he?
Need something?
There's enough for all of us if you aren't greedy.
Need something?
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Need something?
It's not like my poaching is hurting anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he?
Oh.
It's never too late to be wandering around.
Greetings.
Fuck off, everyone. This is a very boring part of this playthrough,
What do you
but
need?
it's necessary. Alright.
Greetings. Greetings.
Damn.
Hmm? What do you need?
I need everyone to shut up.
Hmm? What do you need? Greetings. What do you need? Hmm? Greetings.
I guess I'm getting good alchemy leveling out of this.
Hmm? Greetings. Greetings. What do you need?
Ooh, more invisibility stuff.
Greetings. Greetings. What do you need? What do you need? Hmm? Greetings. Hmm? What do you need?
I'm almost done. Ooh, cure disease. That's nice. Will you buy potions?
We got rooms and food. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
You will not. Damn.
Until next time.
Yeah, I'm not that encumbered.
Oh, excuse me.
I figured out how we're going to get you into the Thalmor embassy. I've been doing this a long time, remember? While the Thalmor have been looking for me, I've been watching them. The Thalmor ambassador, Elenwen, regularly throws parties where the rich and connected cozy up to the Thalmor. I can get you into one of those parties. Once you're inside the embassy, you can get away and find Elenwen's secret files. I have a contact inside the embassy. He's not up for this kind of high-risk mission, but he can help you. His name is Malborn. Wood Elf. Plenty of reason to hate the Thalmor. You can trust him. I'll get word for him to meet you in Solitude at the Winking Skeever. You know it? While you're doing that, I'll work on getting you an invitation to Elenwen's little party. Meet me at the Solitude stables after you've arranged things with Malborn. Any questions? Let me handle that. You'll have a real invitation, don't worry. As long as you can act the part of a Thalmor toady, you'll get past the guards.
Okay,
Something on your mind?
not you.
Okay,
What?
let us get back to it.
Something you're still confused about? Don't worry about me. He's a wood elf. The Thalmor... Luckily, they don't know who he really is. Or he wouldn't... Don't worry, he's a wood elf.
Fucking hell.
Luckily, they don't know who he really is. Or he wouldn't be serving drink. Sounds good. Be careful.
Okay. Wait.
What? Something you're still confused about? That's when the fun starts. You'll have to slip away from the party without raising the alarm. Then you'll need to find Elenwen's office and search her files. Malborn should be able to point you in the right direction.
Is that something about the chests? Maybe. So, like, I know that I'm supposed to put my stuff in a chest if I want it to be saved, but I don't remember her saying that, so just like not sure if I do that yet. Okay, I can destroy the items. Alright, give me a moment. Alright, I did a bunch of stuff there. Including level up. Because of that, I can now do this. I'm gonna save first in case other things have ineptitude. Because that crashed me before. Ooh.
Yeah!
That's a bit of ouch. Huh. Okay. I have 10. Okay. Okay, so yeah, she did not say anything about the chest. Always use more salt. Oh, I'm taking that, and this, and this. Move, Delphine. Don't know what that noise was. Don't really care. Sorry, I have hiccups.
Speak quickly.
All right then.
Okay. So yeah, we gotta go to Solitude, which is gonna be a pain because I'm pretty sure it suffers the same issue with the stables. But, like, I don't really have much of a choice. Hello.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here.
Ah, a letter
Finally.
from the Jarl. Moving up in the world, eh?
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
We're gonna dedicate an episode to
Someone like
that, I think.
would be a good ally. You
Yeah.
know?
So this is for Hearthfire. So basically, I do a thing for Jarl Siggeir, and I do the thing for Jarl Siggeir, and he makes me a Thane, or rather, he tells me to do things for his people, which then makes me a Thane, unless we build a house. We're going to dedicate an entire episode to that, but not right now. I'm going to go to Riften. Ashwarston. Okay. We'll do that later.
Maven Blackbriar has this place under her thumb, so no handout, you say. Scat. She has eyes and ears everywhere in Riften.
Yes?
You lost? Please help me. I'm going to lose my job at the Riften Fishery. My job at the Riften Fishery is in danger. The owner, Bolly, said that if I show up for work in this condition one more time, then I'm out. I don't mean to do this to myself, but I can't help it. I tried some skooma a year ago, and ever since then, I can't stop. If you could give me a healing potion, I could cleanse this poison from my body and get back to my life. Thank you, my friend.
Hold on a moment.
Any healing? Did you bring anything? The pain.
Try that. I'm not giving you that, actually.
You have no idea what... Here, take this. It's all I can offer for what you've given me.
Okay, let's see. Gotta identify the dealer, but first of all... Pond.
Welcome to the Pond Prawn. Come on in, take a look around.
I'm gonna sell stuff. Give me a moment. We're back.
Pickings may be a bit slim today. Catchy, isn't it? In my youth, I was a fisherman. I had a beautiful ship named the Brawny Prawn. But the years have a way of creeping up on you. I ended up selling that ship to open this place. Seemed only fitting to name it after her. Well, changed it a bit, I suppose. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my boat. Coming to this city was a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Sometimes they follow you down here. I have plenty of lockpicks. Why are there 11 of these? Interesting. I'm taking it.
Very clever.
Rip that urn.
Don't let Riften's rundown look fool you. There's plenty of business to be done, and where there's business, there's gold.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Relka.
Gems, fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Aha, there it is. It's mine now.
Look, I don't really know you. This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Helga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists.
Uh-huh.
All right then.
Why can I take all this
Svana,
stuff?
has that skooma-addled idiot Naluva paid her rent yet? Or does she have more excuses?
She said she'll have it soon.
Yes, my
She still
friend.
has her job at the meadery for now.
Helga is not very nice, but I find myself attracted to her nonetheless.
All she does with
She
her money is
smells
spend it on that dark elf
saucy.
Just be patient, Aunt. She'll have it, I promise.
I must warn you, if you give me a sweet roll, I will make it disappear.
That's exactly what I'm doing, Inigo.
Let us go.
Well, I can take this stuff, which is interesting. Not sure why I can take it.
best prices and the highest quality in Skyrim.
Broca, have you had anyone come by and try to sell you an iron war axe?
Not lately.
Yes?
Well, we had one go missing from the laundry.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
Hang on, Inigo. I'm looking for a place for us to sit.
Yeah? What's your problem?
Fine. What?
You look like someone who can hold their liquor. How about a friendly contest to win a stack?
We'll talk to him later.
Talon, another round.
I think you've had plenty, Volwolf. Maybe you should head on home.
You stupid lizard. I said give me some more drink, or I'll have your head on a pike.
Suit yourself.
You've been in Riften for quite some time now, Lady Mule. I fear that you soon may leave us.
Riften has problems of its own. Now is not the time for exploration and discovery.
I'm relieved to hear you say that. If you were to leave, I'd miss you terribly.
Erin, I owe you my life. It would take a threat to all of Skyrim for me to depart.
I trust you aren't considering any
I'm telling
thievery.
you, it's the investment you've been waiting for.
So I pay for the weapon shipments, and you oversee their distribution to the Stormcloaks?
Exactly. What better way to help the cause than to put weapons into the hands of young Nord warriors dying for
It is
their...
nice and warm in here.
Spear, you're right. I'll do it, provided you supervise the shipments personally.
Don't worry. I'll treat those shipments as if I owned them myself.
Aha! Inigo, come here.
Yes,
Maven,
fair enough.
how's the criminal underworld treating you this fine day?
You may have everyone
Fair
else
enough.
impressed around here, but you don't impress me. You couldn't touch me if you wanted to.
You're a cold, unfeeling bitch.
Come on, sit down.
You have no idea.
You want to talk?
Now I suggest you turn
What would you have me
around
do?
someone else's
Yes?
village before you get hurt.
I'm watching you, Maven Blackbriar. One day you'll slip up and your Imperial friend...
Okay, lead the way.
Do you need something? I've got a few things to take care of. I'll see you later.
Something on your mind? What would you have me do? Yes? Good idea. You're the boss. Do you
Sometimes I'm
want
not certain
something or
that the
not?
people of Riften
My
want
friend,
me
do
that
you mind if I ask you something? Okay. Langley is a very interesting man. He knows a lot about me, and there is a great deal of evidence that his visions usually come to pass. All that said, we have only just met him. In your heart of hearts, do you think we can trust him? It is hard to tell what those other motives could be. I want to believe he is our ally, but your opinion is important to me. I do think that he is mostly good, but perhaps we should be wary just in case. I appreciate your insight, my friend. There is something else I am compelled to mention. When you were outside getting those eggs, I told Langley about how you spared my life and my debt to you. He questioned my memory. He said my mind has been through a lot with the skooma, the grief, and the endless battles and so on. He suggested that maybe you are not the person I remember. I know, that is what I told him. You are my friend to the end. Langley may know a lot, but he does not know everything. He is just jealous of our friendship. Pay it no mind. Anyway, that is all I wanted to say. Let us talk of other things. Okay, say what you must. Yes, sometimes I cannot even look you in the eye, my friend. The more I grow to know you, the more ashamed I feel. That is true, but it is not the whole truth. I was lost and my mind was clouded, but I have to take responsibility for my actions. I am so sorry for what I did, my friend. I wish there was some way of turning back time, so I could alter the past. I owe you a lot. I am grateful you have given me the opportunity to earn your forgiveness. In the end, I hope our friendship and future adventures will prove more important than how we met. We are a fantastic team, you and I.
So the way that I play She-Ra is that Inigo's backstory is canon.
You are very kind. It is a beautiful gesture. But my debt to you stands. I have not come near to earning your forgiveness yet. Your words bring me joy, but I do not deserve them. I am happy you have come to peace with our past, but I cannot say the same for myself. I will know when I am ready to move on, but for now, the guilt I bear still weighs down my heart. Maybe that guilt will be there for the rest of my life. I have a feeling that I am the only one who can let it go. You calling me friend means the world to me. I am honored. You have given me a reason to go on, a whole new life, a chance at happiness. If all goes well, maybe one day I will be at peace with who I am. If that happens, it will be because of you also. You cannot remove my guilt, but you have given me hope. I must do the rest. You are more understanding than most, my friend. Your words lighten my soul. But as far as my heart is concerned, I still have much to repay. Maybe you are right. Since we started traveling together, I have felt a shift in the balance of my life. You know, we have had a few adventures, my friend, but I will never forget one particular fight. It was the first time I ever came face to face with a dragon. It was wonderful and terrifying. I had been in my cell for quite a while, and it was more excitement than I was used to. As we fought side by side, I became aware that a new positive force was at work in my life. Despite the roaring, the pain, and the unshakable feeling of impending doom, I knew that I would always remember that moment fondly. We were magnificent together. When the battle was done and we stood victorious, I knew I was walking a better path. Thank you for helping me unlock my potential, and for giving my heart and soul a second chance.
I believe he does remember his first fight with you.
I am okay. How is everything with you?
Oh, it's this. This gets really heavy if you pick this option. And I'm not comfortable doing that on camera.
Glad to hear it. Let us talk of other things. Accepting Langley's apology was very big of you. You showed great restraint. Mr. Dragonfly is wondering how he fits into this Doomstrider business. I think he has an overinflated sense of self-importance. You are generous, but I have a little of my own tucked away. I do not need yours. The same place I keep my bread and writing materials. I will look after any money you want me to carry, but I will not spend it. I would rather pay my own way. A little. I do not need much. I was wondering though, while we are adventuring together, would you mind if I did some looting of my own? Nothing big, but perhaps if I see a gem stuck in a crack in the ground or a few gold pieces you have missed, I could keep what I find. What do you say? Thank you. Now the possibility of a future exists, maybe I should start planning for it. Anyway, did you want to talk about something else? The bee and barb always smell scaly to me, in a good way.
Let's do this again.
I am honored you want my opinion. Okay, here's what I know about you. You smell good. You are okay for gold at the moment. You have never done time in a cell, unlike me. Your travels have taken you to a few interesting places, but much of Skyrim is still a mystery to you. You own your own home. That is a big positive in my book. Let me think. Like me, you have no great talent for fighting with magic. The state of your mind may be up for debate, but your body is healthy. You are good at getting what you want out of a conversation. You are probably influencing me right now. You are strong, free, and single. Watching you fight one-handed is like watching a fish thrash around with an arrow through its eye. You will get better. You were saved from the executioner's axe by the very force that now threatens this land. You could be our only hope. No pressure. You have great fashion sense. Let's see. Two-handed weapons do not seem to suit you. I feel the same way. They are heavy and cumbersome. You are not into politics. What else? You are becoming sneaky, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. You are not exactly well-read, but you've learned a thing or two. You like to haul around random useless items for some reason. You have been practicing with your bow. You show promise. Now, how do I conclude? You are destined for greatness, my friend. You are still fairly new to this adventuring thing, but you are getting more powerful every day. I say it as I see it. Let me know if you want another progress report. It is fun judging people.
I like just bonding with Inigo.
You are lucky, my Argonian friend. It must be nice not having any hair to comb or fleas to look after. I'm thinking how happy I am you have given me another chance. I will not waste it. You remind me of my foster father. He was scaly too. I have much respect for your people. Of course. What do you want to know? I love archery. I once shot a man's hat off at 60 paces. If he hadn't ducked, I would have got his head. I am done with skooma. It has caused many regretful choices. Taking the scenic route is my style. I'm all for risk and adventure, but why throw yourself off a cliff for no reason? Rabbits are not all they seem. Believe me, I found out the hard way. I like to have a full quiver. You can never have too many arrows. Fire away. What about it? You have my full attention. Some folks seem to have a magical never-ending supply of arrows. I have no such enchantments working on me, unfortunately. Okay. Alright. Okay, but remember I am not a professional writer. I hope you like it. Inigo the Brave, a tale suitable for any gender and race, at any time. One day, Inigo was walking through his spider farm minding his own business when he smelt something was wrong. His nose was the best in the land, so he followed it to a nearby cave where he found a beautiful woman of unspecified race crying. "What's wrong?" said Inigo. "A smelly troll stole my sister," said the radiant woman. "Can you help me? Please bring her back." Inigo looked into the dark cave, then into the eyes of the woman. "If she's alive, I will save your sister," he said. "Thank you," wept the woman. She kissed him, and he entered the cave, bow in hand. He could smell ugly troll everywhere. He soon came to a fork in the tunnel. A little stream ran to the left, and a patch of glowing moss illuminated the way to the right. Left or right? The mossy tunnel was almost as bright as Inigo, and soon he saw movement up ahead. It was a smelly troll eating something. What do we do? Inigo was very sneaky, but as he got closer, the troll smelt his delicious aroma and swiped at Inigo with an ugly claw. What do we do? Inigo used his legendary reflexes and dodged the troll. The stupid beast stumbled to the side and fell through a hole in the cave floor. Inigo heard its neck snap below. He chuckled to himself, then looked about. Where do we go? The tunnel grew darker, and Inigo heard himself crunching over dry bones. He smelt blood on the air. Soon he was standing high above a dark cavern. He could hear ugly movement below, and he saw sharp stalactites hanging from the cavern roof. What's the plan? Inigo's arrows hit the stalactites, and they crashed to the cave floor below. He heard trolls being squashed, and he smiled to himself. When all was quiet, he jumped down among the smelly bodies and had a look about. He heard a woman weeping nearby. What do we do? "What's going on here?" said Inigo. The woman replied, "I needed to feed my pets. I'm sorry, I know it was wrong." She coughed wetly. "I need you to tell my sister something. Come closer." Do we trust her? In a textbook example of skill and grace, Inigo loosed an arrow into the woman's face. As she expired, her body thrashed and began to change. It grew thick fur and hard skin. Soon her corpse looked half troll, half ugly woman. Inigo covered his nose against its stench and left the cave. "Did you find my sister?" asked the pretty woman waiting outside. "Yes, I had to kill her. I am sorry," said Inigo. "Thank you," said the woman. "She was going to kill me if I didn't bring her more food for her trolls." Inigo was very understanding and took her to his farm to recuperate. It turned out that the woman liked playing with spiders as much as Inigo. They were married a month later and lived happily ever after. The end. We did it! Well done, my friend. I hope you enjoyed my book. Okay, if you want to hear it again, just let me know. I'm right behind you.
Inigo's great. Best follower mod in Oldrim. Probably best mod in Oldrim in general. Ah.
My skill in battle is unmatched. Fortunately, with a master of magic at your side, you'll have nothing to fear.
I have no idea where Karjo went.
Argonian.
Greetings, traveler.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right, the Kayleen. Okay, I'm really just a beggar, but you didn't hear that from me. Exactly, but just because I'm a beggar, it doesn't mean I can't fake being a busker. It's a fine line, you know. One gets paid out of pity, and the other gets to pretend they earned it. All right, then.
Greetings, traveler. Don't you just love cloudy weather? Better for the scales in the eyes during the day, and at night they drift over the moon like a warm bedsheet tucks in a child. And isn't that a wonderful thing? To be without complaints? I think it is something worth celebrating. I should know. I used to always complain about how my son would wander off pointlessly without direction. Now that I wander in his stead, I see my folly. For the only way to find yourself is to lose yourself. I don't think my parents realized the implications. Lust for life and lust for adventure, they thought. It's a good thing I didn't become a maid, or else some noble might get the wrong idea. It would likely be too much of a burden, given how old and frail I am. But I appreciate the concern. Besides, if you were a bandit clan, who would you consider a more appealing target? A sweet old farmer, or a single soldier dressed in iron?
This outfit is snug.
Well, that seems like an unwise strategy. Having the person who most despises you responsible for preparing your meals. Although if you're married, that may already be the case. Goodbye, and good wandering.
Okay. I'm going to save because we're about to do stuff that might crash the game, which is leave Riften and go to Solitude. Horse. Still no idea where Karjo is.
Where do you want to go?
Solitude, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. First time to Solitude? Beautiful old city, capital of Skyrim, but I'm sure you already knew that.
Here we go. This episode might be running long, I'm not even sure. Immediately save. Huh. That's probably the postman? Yeah. have to go talk to Malborn. And also keep an eye out for dragons, because I know there's one around here. I don't know how far it is from Solitude. I doubt that the mod author would put it directly on Solitude.
If
But
you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to
shut
River.
up.
If not, just keep your nose
But
clean
it's
while
still
you
something to consider, because flying dragons have a fucking huge aggro range. Also, we're going to see something immediately upon entering Solitude, and I'm just gonna deal with it. Or not deal with it, because all you can do is watch. But whatever. But I'll explain afterwards, because it's a thing.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions. Sorry, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
us! Traitor!
Lock the city gate.
You should tell her that her uncle is son of the traitor's High King. Best she know now, Advar.
Some gate guard you were!
Rogvir, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torrig. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak! There was no murder.
Liar!
Story. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Very well, Rogvir. Bow your head.
On this day,
He can't talk, he's busy.
I go to Sovngarde.
Still a bit busy. You can't save him, by the way. Okay, so you can hide over there
died well.
and shoot these people.
Good riddance to bad
These
rubbish,
two.
I say.
But he will then die of like a heart attack a few minutes later.
I think I expected more.
It shouldn't have been like this.
Okay, I'm quick saving and then going up there because, like, if you go up there during the execution, they get mad, and I'm not sure when that ends. Okay.
Keep my men in your prayers.
You wouldn't
They'll
be a
need them if they
sellsword,
don't
would
show
you?
up.
I have a little problem you could solve.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we do not know much about this Malborn fellow you have to meet. We should be watchful. It reminds me a little of Cyrodiil here, a thin veneer of civility barely masking the dirty doings beneath. It is nice looking, though. I am always here for you, my friend.
Until next time.
Yeah, so he will just kind of die at some point.
A coin or two for a veteran? It's not much to ask.
I don't know how long that's going to take, but it only takes a few minutes usually.
If you're heading to the Blue Palace, you might want to rethink that outfit. Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should come by our shop, Radiant Raiment. We could fix you right up. You're really going to the Blue Palace? That presents an opportunity. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Rament's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit. Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raiment. It's not an insult, just an observation. If I were walking around with a wound, I would want you to tell me to see a doctor.
No,
Your
fair.
outfit is something of an open wound, where attire is concerned.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Remember Radiant
Just
Raiment when you
kind
need
of
a change of
tactless.
attire.
Hmm. Yeah, that doesn't clash at all. Hmm. This is probably going to be mostly a
Come
filler
in
episode,
shut the door.
and we'll do the shenanigans next episode. Cicero's hat. Shoes. That's the Emperor's clothing. That's Tullius's, that's Salted Guard.
Oh, what delight. Another charming customer. Breeches, gowns, clothes for any occasion, really.
Aha. I can sell you clothing.
Fine.
Hang on. I'm gonna pause and back.
Thank the gods for the end of yet another pointless conversation.
Yeah. Alright, go talk to Dural Elisif then. Another one of the characters that I don't like much, despite them being essential, but I did kill Elisif once, and that's really hard to do, because one, she's normally essential, obviously.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
We're gonna talk to him later. And,
You might want to rethink that.
even if you use a console to make her not essential, the game immediately scripts her back into being essential. Why is there leaks here? This isn't normal here. Huh. Dog!
You lost?
What's this? Oh, the Dragonborn Gallery. Okay. Well, you'll take a look at that. I don't even know how long I've been recording. But I think I'm going to do this, do a couple of filler things, and end off. But also, I want to point out, very well maintained, and then this is overgrown. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind how overgrown this is. The fuck? Okay.
Yes?
Huh. You look really cool.
I swear
swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafingar's people will always be safe under my rule.
Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction
I want your
might be
clothes.
called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. What about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
Important quest right there. We will... Actually...
Do you have business with the court?
What do you have to report about the state of
You mean the
Hafingar's
Dragon
defenses?
Bridge issue?
The news is
I'll
the
be
same
honest
as it's
with
been
you.
for the rest of the
I
world.
was planning to let that
Our
go.
borders are secure,
Varnius
but
is a
at
bit
the cost
jumpy
of
at the
guards
best
of
of
our towns and
times.
roads.
I don't see
There
any
have
reason why
been
we need
reports
them.
of weird
As long as
happenings
those
near
dogs stay
Wolfskull
outside
Cave.
of our borders, we're
Travelers
fine.
disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work.
Awesome.
Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an old...
Less commerce means less money and more starving people. And that means more crime.
That may well be our only answer. I will empower my steward to seek out capable individuals to secure Hafingar. Thank you, my thanes. If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward.
Talk to the Jarl. Do you like my clothes?
It's quite fetching, actually. The craftsmanship is excellent. Oh, really? Well, you can tell them that I will be putting in a request for a few dresses quite soon. Be well.
Cool.
Pray for Solitude and my husband.
If you've come to file another complaint, I won't deign to hear it. If my presence is that much of an issue, tell it to the steward. Everyone whines and moans about how loosely I flap my tongue. As if Thane Erikur's eccentric love life were not a matter of public knowledge. And for the last time, I am not a Thalmor agent here to destabilize the court. You're thinking of my terribly unfashionable twin sister, Mithril. My name, on the other hand, is Nithriel, and I am both an attendant of the court and someone worthy of your confidence.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's just say Thane Erikur prefers to do his shopping in the dungeon rather than the marketplace.
What does that mean?
On some days, he'll even emerge with a sack that rattles so violently it betrays its contents as he walks. Although I think, and you didn't hear this from me, that Erikur isn't the one doling out the punishment. He strikes me as someone who likes to be bent over a chair with a gag in his mouth. His sister, on the other hand, is another story.
Okay, I'm leaving this conversation. Yeah,
Be
you're
quick.
a vampire.
I have little patience for mundane concerns.
A good vampire.
Keep walking, stranger.
Okay.
I have nothing to say to you.
You have something to say? Many people come here looking for aid. Must be hard being in charge. I'm glad I have you to tell me what to do.
We're looking for a specific NPC.
Okay, then.
It's not going to be in there. I think she's near the entrance. No?
Have you come to visit the High Queen? Well,
The High Queen.
in line. I've been waiting for weeks on account of that clumsy oaf of an executioner. So you have seen it too. You were lucky then. Not that it would have mattered much with that brutish outfit you're wearing. The execution I witnessed was nothing short of a node to incompetence. It took 2 cuts to slice off the head. The first cut being so poor it squirted blood all over a couple of elven dignitaries standing up front. I offered my handkerchief to the lady, as is custom, but instead she reached for my cloak and wiped the blood all over the fur. So you're an alchemist, huh? Sounds like something you learn when you can't afford to replace things with gold. In this case, though, such skills might prove useful. That is, if I was willing to entrust the cloak of Oakheart to some plant-cuddling rube. 7 generations this cloak has been in my family. 7! Can you count to 7, peasant? I'd venture not, but it's a long time. One of my ancestors strangled a bear to death with his bare hands to get this fur, and it's been passed down from father to son ever since. I am surprised a lowborn such of yourself is capable of recognizing its value, but I suppose
This isn't who
its
we're looking for either,
magnificence
but whatever.
extends beyond one's caste. Perhaps that's why the High Queen lets people like yourself in the Blue Palace. But it takes more than speechcraft to be a true noble. Meanwhile, high-born Nords such as myself are left to sit here and wait for an audience. It goes against everything our ancestors stood for. Well, I'm done waiting. In fact, I think I'll pay the Jarl of Windhelm a visit. I hear he actually values Nord heritage.
Have fun. I agree with you. Have fun. That's not the way to win home, sir. Speaking of... It's not this way, but... It's very bright in here. Where is it? Eh? Oh, God. What the fuck? Okay. That's interesting. Okay, this isn't what I was looking for, but that was certainly interesting. Let's see. Ah. This is her room. Aha, there it is.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward.
Oh well. And I think that's where we're gonna leave it for this episode. Partly because I have no idea how long I've been recording for, because I paused so much. And I guess this was just mostly filler, I guess. So, see you guys in the next episode.